The words you hear are from streams of consciousness arising from historical happenings in Norway, when an entire village was destroyed just after World War II. Survivors of the war were killed at home from natural disaster. Spoiler: the waterfall you will hear and see is the force of which the rocks came down and destroyed the entire village and school. A grandmother and 2 grandchildren running after the goats on the cliffs were the only survivors.
The rocks have escaped the mountain tops and have eaten up the village, eaten up the clouds.
I see from the windows all the men and boys who lied about their age leaving. My son snoring softly in the bed beside yours.
The rocks have escaped the mountain tops and have eaten up the village, eaten up the clouds. Cloud pouring out the smothered dreams of school children playing tag in the playground. The rocks have spat out
The ocean waves, sea salt air. Taste it on the lamb you feast on. Last supper, kiss me goodbye, kiss me awake.
The forest is where I lay my head beside you. The moss on the ground is thick, and the air is...
A grandmother and her 2 grandchildren, too busy distracted by the goats and their kids. And beneath them, I'm lying, feeling so ill. Outside, my hands are clapping. I lie in the forest behind me. The forest is where I lie my head. And beside me, my son. And behind me, the sun, rising, pouring the lights all over his father's face.
And the beads of sweat on their foreheads in the trenches, leaving behind families and friends and lovers still. In the villages on the hillside, I see
leaving
my home
behind
still.
families and friends
Quiet,
and lovers,
basking in all
lovers
of this
still.
light.
In the villages on the hillside, I see my home still. Quiet, basking in all of this light. Ground shaking. All the bodies could have been hanging from the tree branches. Branched tree. Climbing trees. Men come back, they come back from the war to end all wars. And their town is gone.
My son.
No home,
And
the
behind
trees
me,
are broken
the
and
sun,
so are their brains.
rising, pouring the lights all over his
forest
father's
is where I lay
face.
my head beside my
He's
son.
home.
His head is
He's
cold.
home.
The bodies could
Cheeks
have been hanging
blue.
from the tree branches.
I feel it
Branched
too.
tree, climbing trees.
In the forest.
Men came back.
The
They
forest
came
behind
back
me. The
from
forest
wars
is where I
and
lay my head.
wars, and their
And beside me,
town
my
is
son.
gone.
And behind me, the sun, rising, pouring the light all over his father's face. He's home. He's home.
And behind me the sun rising, pouring the light all over his father's face. Because he's home.